friends. So I'm back. I was sort of on vacation because my mom had come for about a week and a half. So that is why you haven't seen me. And me and Alicia will be picking up our challenge up this week, hopefully. So if you are a subscriber who likes to watch those videos, that will be coming up. And I just also, real quick, before I get really started in this layout, while I'm looking through my papers to try to figure out what I want to use, I want to say thank you for all you subscribers. I have a ton of new subscribers, and I just want to thank you for joining me on my scrap adventures. And I hope you guys enjoy listening and watching what I'm doing. So right now I am thinking about using that Dear Lizzy paper that has the triangles. And I also have that other paper underneath, which is by, let me check. That is Heidi Swapp, September Skies, and it's called Open Air, and it has triangles in it and just a few colored. So I'm going to use a stencil on the white, and I chose white because I'm just really digging white right now for my background. Who knows, I may change my mind, but I kind of like that it's just this blank canvas that I can decide what I want to do with this blank piece of paper. And I've been really digging the open space, and if you've been watching my channel, you know this already, so I'm not going to go talk forever about it, but also, so I'm thinking about using this triangle or stencil that is from the Crafter's Workshop, and I'm just mixing some modeling paste. Actually, the first part is texture paste, and I added just a little bit of the Wilton gel, food coloring gel, and I really like to use this if I want really, really bright colors. It's totally not conventional at all, but I don't really care. And I'm not too worried about my page getting ruined. I mean, the likeliness that, how long this layout is probably really going to last, I'm not too worried about it as far as lasting hundreds and hundreds of years. So I don't really care that I'm using that. And I, excuse me, really love the color. And so I picked a golden yellow, and it's going to match the yellow in the Dear Lizzy paper just a little bit. And so I'm just putting, with that paste, those triangles just down the side. I let it dry for a little while I used up the rest of the paste. And then I did heat dry it, and I spared you that because sometimes that takes me a while just because I want to get it right. And I will let it get to the point where it kind of bubbles a little, just a little bit. I don't mind that look. And actually, in the end, I don't think you see it too much, just a little bit in the overall. I added a lot of texture to it. So I want to layer these papers because I want to use that blue, and I like the pink sticking out. And actually, I don't think you see that yellow at all in that paper. So the fact that I did the yellow on the other side is really nice because you can't see the yellow. And that paper wasn't completely 12 by 12. It was a little bit bigger, so I'm going to cut just the ends of it off just to equal the Heidi Swapp paper, because in the end, when I put it in my protector, because I like to put them in protectors, I don't always get them in albums right away. I knocked my camera. I have, after not scrapping for about a week and a half, I was surprised that this layout came together pretty well. I was listening to the Coffee Time with Sandra and Lisa podcast from this week before with Alicia and all the mixed media, and it was really, really nice to listen to that while I was using mixed media. So, and I really like how it kind of looks, and I know on the screen that triangle paper from Heidi Swapp really reads as a solid, so it's kind of nice. It's a very, very subtle. So I'm going to outline, and I try with the Chamel pen, and that's like a coral color, but my ink is starting to run out. I don't know if anybody else has had that problem. Well, actually, I do know. I think I heard Mercy Tiara mentioning Tracy saying something about one of hers was running out. So, yeah, it's starting to run out, which I'm kind of sad because I really like these pens. But I don't know if it's going to run out in 6 months. I don't want to pick out a new one. I mean, yeah. So I do it all the way around, and I'm using this ruler because I want it to be pretty straight. So, and then I realize I don't care for it, and so I use the jelly roller, and I add just a few little squiggles to make it look like stitching. And so now I'm going to go through some more papers, and I pick out, I have some Scraptastic from this past month and like maybe the month before, and then I have some of the Pinkfresh Studios Up in the Clouds collection. And so I'm just looking for some of the pinks. And this is a picture from Easter from today. Well, it'll be tomorrow by the time everything gets up. So I just want to use that pink side, but I want to make sure I save the other side because I really like that. And at this point, I'm just cutting up different sizes because I'm not sure exactly how I want to do my layering. And a lot of times I like to do this. I just like to pick out almost random sizes, a little bit bigger or smaller than a 4x6 picture because that's usually what I scrap. And I'll use that as my starting point for layers. And as you can see, the pink one with the feathers, I like a little bit of the feathers sticking out, but not so much, just a little bit. It kind of adds a little bit of something to the page, and, you can't see much. And I really like that yellow because it helps pop with those triangles on the other side. So I'm going to keep that from Scraptastic. And that is their exclusive paper. I really enjoy working with them. The only thing is that, I mean, most of them are kind of simple. I don't know. I go back and forth because I'm really enjoying making my own papers. I mean, obviously this one I just did the modeling paste on, so it didn't really matter. But once I get going, this week I'll probably be doing a few more of my own backgrounds. And so I'm finding that sometimes it's hard to use a lot of that. So I really like these Heidi Swapp gold sticker letter words. So I'm going to use one of those for my title, and so I'm going to break it up. And it says lovely, and then the other one is Easter, and that's the Ellie Studio in pink. And that was from the Scraptastic kit this month. Actually, I think both of those were, if I'm remembering correctly. And I know we should be getting our kit soon. I don't know if anybody else has gotten theirs yet. I think I looked and mine's supposed to come. So I'm going to add a couple of hearts on either side just because I kind of want to close them in. So if that makes sense. And then we had these Heidi Swapp circles. And I really love that you can take the outside of the circle and use it and use the inside. And so I'm going to just use the outside, and I'm putting it around the hearts, and I really love how that looks. And I had to lift up the L a little bit because I didn't want it over top of the L. I wanted underneath the L. And then these are from Heidi Swapp. I think that's from September Skies too, if I'm not mistaken. And it says Smile, and it has a lot of the same colors, the pink and the yellow. And then I used some of the Dear Lizzy puffy stickers. And I'm just adding, and I took out the Dear Lizzy heart, and it's not going to stay there. I kind of play around with it because I'm not really sure. And so now I'm looking at these Craft Market stickers, and that says Our Crew. And I put it there, and I'm going to move it because of where the next piece, I layer it under. And this is something I see Chamel do a lot. She'll take stickers, and she uses it as like a little bit of a layer. And it just looks kind of fun because it has, I almost stuck that there, but it just didn't quite work. So So I use this flare, and then I put that there, and that's when there's a space in between the smile and that our crew, and I just didn't like the way that that looked. So I'm going to move it underneath so there's a little bit more space, and so it's not so awkward, you know. Sometimes if you have an awkward space that you didn't mean for it to happen, it looks a lot worse than when you make it happen. So if that makes any sense. I will say this is not a very long video. So this picture is from Easter. I'm going to start talking about the picture as I put the date. I'm just adding the year because it says Easter. So I'm not too worried. Maybe later I'll go back and make sure I write down the actual date somewhere with the journaling because I'm going to add some lines. And this picture is from today. And we, with my mom here, we were able to get a really, really nice all of us together picture in all our Sunday clothes. And of course, the sun is shining in our eyes and we're all ready to eat. And so, you know, it's really hard with 3 little kids to get a picture where everyone's looking. And I love this photo because like almost no one is looking except for me and smiling. And it's just so funny because it's so perfect because it's just no one's looking. So this is my favorite because every other one, like someone's not looking, but it's not the same person. So, you know, years to come, I'll laugh and say, remember that year? You know, remember all those years? So I'm using the pink pen, and it actually worked okay when I did it with start to journal. So maybe that pen just needed to be used. And then I added one more line where I wrote something, though it looks kind of silly. And then all I'm going to do is add some pink splatters, and then that will be it. So guys, I hope you guys all had a great Easter, and I hope you enjoyed this quick layout. It really didn't take me too long to do. And I will see you guys later this week. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.